Hello, everybody. Welcome home and welcome back. I'm so delighted to be making more content. It has been a while, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm happy that I'm here. As most people know about this channel, I do like giving a nice intro, especially when we're away for a little bit, so let's get right into it. First things first, I have received several messages and posts of support and encouragement for my health, my channel, and everything, and I just want to say thank you so much for your kind words and encouragement. It's been a while. I anticipated breaks like this to occur, and despite having a very productive and exciting 6-month run of consistent uploads, there were so many factors at play that a break was necessary. As I mentioned in a post on YouTube, that the live streams were great, but they were coming to a point where it just felt like work, and that's not why I make content. And I had said that I was going to upload some old Slay the Spire videos, and I did that once, and then it just kind of all fell off, and I just needed to step away for a little while. At the start, there was just one reason, but in the past week or so, I've really started thinking hard about why I needed a break, and there were a lot of reasons. I was in a personal rut. My girlfriend had also taken some time off from her work, and we finally had some time together, not trying to balance our busy work schedules and trying to maintain high energy levels in this crazy world. And I had some aches and pains that just would not go away, and I won't get into all the details, but it wasn't just one thing. And I just needed a break. But at her endless encouragement and support, we are back doing some more content. Live streaming will happen again. That is a promise. I just don't know when. I haven't played the Bazaar in quite some time. I'll need to, if Bazaar is going to be what the live streams are going to be consisting of a lot, I need to get back into it and to learn about all its updates and that sort of thing. So it will happen again. I just don't know when. The girlfriend is back to work. Today was her first day back, and we've discussed quite a lot that while it's not a problem, it just feels weird when I'm recording and she's in the house, and we were just doing stuff together all the time and spending a lot of time together, which I loved and treasured, but I was missing kind of an ongoing project to keep my mind occupied, and it's really nice to have this outlet still available to me. What have I covered? I got a little list of things I wanted to cover. So personally, I'm doing much better. Still not great. It's still hard to say that when people ask how I am, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm having some anxiety about returning to work, but that's also now being coupled with a little bit of excitement. Getting back into some routines, having some income would be nice. And I also had a little bit of anxiety about doing this again, putting myself out there. I put it off. I had said I wanted to start it 2 days ago and put it off for another 48 hours. Just, it's hard to put yourself out into the internet without feeling the most confident and the most positive about yourself. I'm feeling better, but not amazing. So it's hard to balance the need for feeling really good about yourself coupled with the need to or want to do this at the same time. You can't just keep waiting until the right time strikes. You just kind of have to dive in, which is what we've done, and now I already feel a lot better. That pretty much covers the return of the summary. And I think what my plan for September is, I'm going to record as much as I possibly can and adjust my upload schedule so that when I plan to return to work in October, I will have a large backlog to fall back on and hopefully be able to record occasionally in the evenings after work, and hopefully record some on the weekends. I'm thinking I might reserve some evenings during the work week for live streaming. I don't know. I haven't thought this through. I just jotted down the first idea that came to my head onto my little notepad here. So, okay, 5 minutes in, that covers my life basically. But I'll talk about other stuff as we progress. But we are back to games, and I was racking my brain on what I wanted to have as my big return to the ring. And anyone who knows me and how my brain operates, which is no one, because even I don't get it, my brain definitely operates in phases. I'll go through phases where I'll be hooked on a game, or sometimes a couple of them, play the crap out of them, and then kind of move on. Like I said, I have not played the Bazaar in several months. And lately I've been really into baseball, a restaurant game called Played Up that my girlfriend and I have played extensively together, and I've also got into it in solo mode as well. And I've played this a bunch. Back to Glyphica, typing survival. It was a very well-liked video that I uploaded, I think it was the end of June, maybe early July, I don't recall exactly. And then I tried to make episode 2, and it crapped out on me. Gave me the red screen of death. I contacted the developer. They were very supportive, and I've played it several times since, and it's been fine. So we're going to give this series another shot. There's lots of content to get out of this game, as there are 4 main weapons here. That are unlocked. Available. There are 2 more that they're working on, as you can see, coming in a future update. But I'm hoping this all works out, because this game is great. It's a great typing simulator. It's a great tower defense, great bullet hell. I do recommend it, this game. It's very good. I've watched my first video several times the past few days to remind myself what we covered in the first one, so hopefully I won't repeat myself, but hey, anything's possible. So, that first video was recorded October 21st of 2024. So it's been pretty close to a year since I recorded that one. This game has had a lot of updates. So it's got new bosses, new weapons, new words, longer words, new trials, which is kind of what we'll get into that. Got some great quality of life improvements, new classes of weapons. Got a currency system that you gain during play that unlocks the augmentations we'll get into a second here. And big kudos to the developer. They've done a very, very good job on evolving this game and making it replayable, which is great. Okay, yeah, that covers that part. So I just wanted to cover a couple of things before we get back into the game. So the augmentations, I mentioned briefly they were coming. In the first video I mentioned they were coming. They're here. They've been here for quite some time. I'm just going to go through these very quickly. You can pause the video if you so desire to read all these. I will, when we use them, I'll go through them in more detail. Basically, these augment your run. They improve it, or it increases the likelihood of synergies between your weapons a lot more. So there's augmentations for each type of weapon. There's the main weapon. There's drone weapons. There's turret weapons. Again, you can pause the video if you so desire. There's damage over time stuff. There's remote weapons. There's electric weapons. And there's heat weapons. So I'll get into how these apply in just a second here. But yeah, that's what those are for. One more thing that is also key for some people and things that I enjoy, or a factor that I enjoy, is you can turn off and on the spaces and punctuation. If you recall from the first video, if you've seen it, one of the bosses you can encounter is just typing a segment or a part of a famous book or play or something like that. Usually it was Shakespeare. They've included a bunch of new passages as for that boss, and you can turn on and off spaces or if you need to include spaces and punctuation when you type out those passages. I like to have spaces because when I type it, if I type without using the space bar, it really weirds me out. So I have those on. So that's it. That more or less is a good overview. We've got 10 minutes, so I'll put a stamp in the description. You can skip the whole thing if you so desire. But, so, We did the repeater with no trials last time, or no omens last time. So here's where you pick your we'll do omen 1 this time. Here's where you can choose your augments. We did a no augments last time. Now I'm trying to think if they were available last time or not. They weren't, so I will put them on this time, and we'll pick a couple of them. Omens are like Ascension from, say, the Spire. The deeper you go into the omens, the harder the game gets. So with no omens, it's just a straight game. You can actually go backwards. You can do lower difficulty. You can also do no upgrades, no loot. You just type the game. I actually haven't tried these because I quite enjoy the challenge of this game, and I like getting into the more difficult and versus the less difficult. So Omen 1, enemies have 50% more health. Omen 2, words are longer by a full character. Omen 3, the main weapon health is halved. Omen 4, enemies have 100% more health. Omen 5, take 3 damage for each mistype, which I did mention in the first video. And then Omen 6, you cannot see words that are far away. So you cannot even see the word you need to type until it's closer to your main weapon. So we will get there. But in the meantime, we'll just do Omen 1, and we'll get, with the repeater. And we will pick some augments and get this thing started, because I'm excited to be making content again. My favorite weapon still is the spinning blades, which is a turret. So I do like taking turret augmentation, because whenever I see the blade trap, that's what it's called. Whenever I see the blade trap, I just take it almost instantly. It's still my favorite one. So Dark Relay is fun. A projectile bounces between existing turrets, randomly dealing electrical damage. It's fun, but I've come to understand and appreciate that it's not as... It's fun, but it's not as effective as it sounds. Every turret evolution also grants 50 main weapon max health. That's pretty good. Activating pickup grants 30% range to all existing turrets. If you don't attack for 3 seconds, gain the... Nah. Enemies take a turret's... Within turret's range, take 30% more damage from other sources. That's pretty good. Anything being hit by my blade trap or other turrets takes more damage from all other sources, which is pretty good. Each other turret grants 10% plus 10% rate of fire to all turrets up to a maximum. I like that too. And drones are also my another favorite of mine. So for every non-drone weapon equipped, increase all drone duration by 20%. No, drone speed upgrades also upgrade drone damage. So we want to focus on turrets and drones, which is fine. All right. Here we go. Back to Glyphica. All right. Boss incoming in 4 minutes. There's also, you'll see above... I haven't even actually tried them yet. Above my weapons down there's a couple of backpack icons that you can get from random upgrades that basically it's an inventory you can activate. I've acquired some inventory, but I still have yet to actually activate them. All right. So a meteor and chopper existed before. Those are not new, but we will go for a meteor. We got 4 rerolls already. I do want to focus on turrets and drones. So let's see if we can get... So there's drone. Spectre is quite a good weapon, so we'll take Spectre. So any word containing A, E, and O will spawn damage-dealing specters. And there they are. Let me level up. There's my blade trap. Thank you very much. The Guardian is really good. I have tried it. It also was the weapon I had on the 2 times. I had acquired that weapon both times that my last 2 videos that red screen of death and crashed out. So I'm a little bit... I've used it since, but I am hesitant to take it while I'm recording, just in case it happens to do that again, because that was really annoying. Especially after I've done that intro. Alright, what else we got here? Oscillator is fun. It is not a drone or a turret, though. And we got all of our rerolls, so we're going to reroll that one there. Turrets are good. Tesla mine is good. I am now realizing that I'm pretty much copying the exact same build that I had in the first video. But it's been so long since I made that one. We're just going to roll with what we've got. I will make note of the things we try in videos, and I will do my very best to not, or try to avoid repeating precise builds as we go forward. Level up again. Spin rate on Blade Trap, yeah, we'll take that. Still quite a hot one out here on the west coast of Canada. It's nearly 30 degrees Celsius, which is around 85 Fahrenheit. So my air conditioner is still on. You can probably hear it a little bit in the background. I spent some time with my sound check to try and make sure it wasn't quite as audible as possible, but you can probably still hear it. So generally speaking, I do look for upgrades that are either uncommon or rare, because common ones are not that effective. Not always. I don't always just keep re-rolling until I get uncommon or rare, but usually you can get one that's pretty good. So we'll take an increased duration of the Spectre. Increased duration of a homing damage dealer is pretty good. You can see that the Blade Trap has been upgraded to be less opaque, a little more see-through. I'm quite pleased that there are new bosses to work with. If I do recall, there were only 2 different bosses available when I recorded last. There are considerably more than that now. But it might just be... I can think of 5 different ones that exist now. The 2, how many did we see? I think we saw 2 different ones in this first video with 3 levels. 2 with the passages and 1 with the scrambled word dude. They both still exist. The passage boss is usually the final boss of a level. You do 3 stages, and usually at the end of the 3rd stage you get the passage one. Exploding bullets is pretty good. Increased explosive damage. Effects-based damage repeater now uses explosive munitions that deal explosive damage in a small radius. Sure. I rarely, if ever, take the shotgun upgrade. It has not done me well in the past. Piercing upgrades. I used to not take the evolution upgrades because, I'm trying to think now if that's still an issue. One of the omens used to be you can only evolve your weapons like once or twice or something like that. So spending experience points and upgrade slots just to do that seemed like a bit of a waste. I don't know if that's still a thing though, but I will take, I think extra repeater damage is pretty good. So I'm just gonna avoid and evade in the same word the evolution upgrades there, just because of my scarred history. Blade Trap has evolved, fantastic. Exactly what I wanted was a blade repository. So now instead of JKLM, it's now JKLM and YZ words to start with. So another level up, good stuff. Orbiter is fun. Orbiter is fun. It's remote. So another thing they included was, so before when you go to your run info, all you would have is this screen. But now they've included, you can actually look at your, remind yourself what your augments were. So drone, turret, we only have 1 drone. So drone, enemies in turret range, each other turret. So we do want more turrets. We have 2 of them. Let's get greedy. Orbiter is good, but I think we can do better. Yeah, actually, 30% damage on the Spectre is very good, so I'm fine with that decision. Zonks! That's a good word. Yeah, they've upped the vocabulary of the game quite a lot. There are words that are now especially if you get the omen where they increase the length of the words. There are words that are 8 or 9 letters long. And here comes a boss after we level up. Blade trap damage sold. Easy peasy. So in my experience lately, there's you usually get one of 2 first bosses. And this is one of them. Okay. So these 2, well, you'll see, but I'll give a quick description. They just have words above them. You can just attack them as you can any regular enemy, but they will bob up and down on the left and the right. And every 10 or 15 seconds or so, they will link up above you, and they will drag down a damage-dealing line, basically, with a single letter on your keyboard in the middle of it. You need to mash that letter to prevent the damage from happening. And then what I do recall, but I have not distinctly observed, is you need to kill them. You need to damage them in a balanced manner, as they can kind of heal each other, or something to that effect. But what works really well is you just put a bunch of blade traps on them. So you will see shortly they will link up. There it is. And then to mash P until those those arms come down and damage you. I didn't test the music level, so I hope it isn't too loud, but I'm allowing myself a little bit of wiggle room there. The music is definitely improved as well. Okay, let's level up. Definitely improved. Turret. Yeah, let's do that. Sentry is good. Close, getting things at close range. Yeah, this fight's over. Yeah, that guy. If you get blade traps sitting on them, they're not too terrible. I'd given consideration to doing one video per now. That would only make I was gonna do one video per stage, but that makes the next video probably only about 6 or 7 minutes. So we'll do a whole run per video. That's just the way it's gonna be. Let's see. So boss loot. We don't freeze enemies very often. I'm picking up a reroll, deal a random amount of damage between 0 and 100. Yeah, alright. Okay, so now you can go to the... So let's see. 97% accuracy is good. Words per minute 156. Also quite good. I am pleased. Moving on. Trial number 2. So our weapons are filled out. We have lots of... we have 3 turrets and 1 drone. Synergy in this game, with your loadout, is important. In later omens especially. I don't care how fast you type. Eventually this game gets to a point where if you're not synergistic on your build, you are in trouble. Doing double damage for no good reason whatsoever. Let's make some more blade traps. I would love to get the blade trap evolution that includes V and W. Blade trap, absolutely. Not always. I have to say it's probably not a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket, as the overused expression goes. But because the blade trap upgrades only work if you can actually find words that start with those letters. If you don't, they are wasted. So it's really important to make sure you balance out your build. Especially in later omens, as these are all the very smallest size of enemies you're gonna see. Eventually, you get enemies that are very durable, lots of HP, even some shields, and you get a lot of those arrow dudes down there that hang out at the edge of or hang out away from you, and they're tough to get damage to without repeatedly typing stuff in their direction. We can upgrade the sentry. Oh, yeah, we probably should. Let's upgrade the damage on the sentry. After I just gave that speech about spreading out the upgrades and not putting all your eggs into your blade trap basket. General upgrade. I did not know that the sentry is a heat weapon. Always learning stuff about this game. Double damage pickups, plus 1% chance. That really could save your bacon sometimes. Get into a bit of a kerfuffle and you got stuff bearing down on you and you see that ×2 damage drop. Can be really a big deal. And there's our VW. Fantastic. Can really get you out of a sticky situation. So an extra 1% chance that they drop. I used to write that off as not that valuable or useful, but it certainly is. Duration to electric weapons, Tesla mine, range. Ooh, 15% range on the sentry is pretty good. Or 25% duration on the drone. Let's go on the Spectre. Boss in a minute and a half. There's a double damage drop. Level up again. Tesla mine. Duration. It's all Tesla mine. Alright, let's evolve it. Let's go against my better judgment. Or my emotional baggage. Heat damage, ignite chance, affects base damage affected by heat damage modifiers. We didn't pick up one of those. Let's go with the restricted area. 20% increased chance to get static status from electric damage sources. So that's just like, that's a damage over time electric status they can get from the Tesla. So you can see them kind of, you can see the little lightning bolts kind of going over their body. You kind of, oh, well, they're not lasting very long, so a couple of evolutions. I do like the supercharged. Every 20 Spectre spawn is a Super Spectre. Very useful. And I love me some Ricochet Repeater. Repeater projectiles ricochet to random nearby targets, dealing 50% damage on hits after the first one. Anything that does damage to more enemies, little area of effect type thing. So you can see the enemies are starting to evolve, getting a little larger, getting some shields, getting some new shapes, much larger HP bars, etc. Get used to it. Another ×2. Let's get some blade traps out there. Tesla mine range? Heck yes. All right, here comes boss number 2. Let's see what we get. Ah, this guy is fun. So, this boss of arrows will travel in a perfect circle around my main weapon. You can see here and here are 2 little targets. Words will be permanently placed there. Giving you a chance to activate your weapons, and every so often this enemy will spawn or sprout little yellow bubbles, not unlike the enemy circles, with letters in it, and you have a limited amount of time. They'll come towards the main weapon, and if those letters hit you before you type them, then you take damage. So with the blade trap is a great weapon against this enemy because he just flies right through them. There are those letters. Luckily, there's a little audio indicator as well. So if you're feeling bold, you can wait until some of the enemies get closer and closer that start with the right letters, and you can catch this boss in a Tesla or a blade trap or something like that. But usually you've got enough stuff going on in the words that little targets there provide. All right, Tesla mine duration. So I'm looking more for damage here, I think. I never understood what the range on the repeater meant. I always figured the... like... doesn't it go all the way across the screen anyway? Maybe I should be looking that up. These are all uncommons. They're pretty good. Let's go with the duration on the Tesla mine. So if you don't have any kind of turret weapons, basically, so you need to kind of time, you need to basically type chic and time your attack with your main weapon just to get this guy. So depending on your setup, your weapon setup, loadout, that's the word I'm looking for. Sorry, trying to talk and type like crazy is not always the easiest thing. Depending on your loadout, this guy can be quite difficult. But if you got a bunch of turrets that he just kind of just wanders through, then it's usually not too bad. All turret damage. Yes, please. There's a freeze. Excellent. Oh, let's get look at that. You can see words get pretty long now. There's our double damage. What do we want here? We want to reroll. 20% damage to the repeater, duration to the Tesla, or again, the range thing. I don't quite understand. I'm going to go with the repeater damage. So he started with, the boss started with 3 bars of health. He's already down to 1. So we just kind of continue with what we've been doing so far. A little freeze. Probably should have waited for that to be... should have timed that freeze a little better to get him stuck in a... oh, he was stuck on a Tesla. That's not too bad. Nuptial. Almond. I know I have a level. I'm just trying to envisage. Yeah, some of the words get pretty nutty. Jaunt, Tilly. Alright, let's evolve the trap. Add their crit chance to their chance of inflicting bleeding or poison. Let's go with the poison. And static chance, yes, please. Acquire, wash. Latino. So he's pretty close to done. Get a few more turrets going here. Parity, Trout, Vide, Point, Cycle, Vines, Hoist, RBX, Kiwi. I should have frozen him in a better spot again. Can't be perfect. Slinging. Corgi. Jeez, Nomad. Yeah, he's almost done. Jinx. Jazzy. Clover. Let's level up. Rate of fire. That sounds good. For my sentry. Zappy. Nasal. UOHF. He's done. Alright. All turret weapons, 50% damage. Don't even need to look at anything else. Done. And I'm just now realizing how difficult this is on your voice when you don't do it regularly. Might need a break after this already. Alright, trial 3, let's do it. So, we're in pretty good shape here. My experience, the boss here will be the passage typing. But, and if you do recall, the passage typer, the passage boss is very much the same as it was before. Any words that get a certain distance into the screen, and after a certain period of time, he'll actually throw an extra shield on a variety of words, making you having to type it twice before you can actually do anything to it. If you have a lot of turrets and damage over time stuff, that mitigates that challenge a little bit. Chemical damage is pretty good. Sentry range. Heat weapons do 20% damage when target is close to main weapon. I'm gonna go with the glyph, or the sentry range, I think. There's that super, I think right here is right there is the super specter. Yams. Yeah, this is a pretty good setup. That and the repeater is in fact the easiest main weapon. I've said several times in the first video, this game definitely is a great game for someone with a brain like mine. Pause for sneeze. Excuse me. Giving me very rapid fire things to focus on and deal with, and tiny little mini fires to put out all the time. Metaphorical fires is great for someone with the things that my brain is afflicted with. Oops, I did not mean to re-roll that. Dang it. Let's go for something good. All common. Tesla range? Sure. What do you got? Turret weapons damage. Yeah. Yeah, this is a great typing game. I do love, I mean, tower defense games aren't for everyone, I get it, but I think this is a great implementation of the typing game genre coupled with other genres. I think it's done very well. It's done quite seamlessly. And I think that if you're interested in trying a typing game, I think this is an excellent one to pick up. It gets my endorsement. Yummies was the word there. Ooh. I'll take projectile chain +2. Xaxes. Boss in a minute 20. Let's level up. All common, all common, all common. Perfect. Yeah, those little diamond ones can break up into multiple small diamonds, so getting a blade trap on them is very good. Geckos. There's some money. Maple. See you later. Yeah, with the upgrades I have on my blade trap, if I get a blade trap on anything, it's pretty much screwed. It's going so fast. It's doing a ton of damage now. An unupgraded blade trap late game won't always be kind of the be-all end-all game saver, but with the right upgrades, it can be pretty much unstoppable. The heck is the Jester? Oh, right. No. Let's go with the Blight, I guess. Alright, here comes Boss Man. Damage on Sentry. Yes, I thought I said that wrong. Damage on Sentry is correct. Who we got? It is Passage Dude. Oh, and it's Shakespeare like it was in the first video. How apropos? That is the question. And go on. So yeah, he'll... whether 'tis nobler... Ooh, likely, yes. Worth. Let's get some blade traps out there. Slings and arrows. Jibes. Jibes. Equal. League. Fruit. Sia. Zakat. Outrageous. Fortune or ore to take. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I can't type all of a sudden. I'm trying to type fast and show my abilities, and now it's blown up in my face. Of troubles, and by opposing and them to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say, and the heartache and the 1,000, and we go back to self-defense. Double damage. Now, melon. We look for possible blade trap words. Salmon. Troll. Shocks. That flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation. Devoutly to be. Back to defense. Fuel. Nifty. Tangly. Horde. Bitter. Guest. Firmed. Auto. White. That's the one I want. Braved. Audio. Empower. Where? That's what I'm looking for. We'll level up now. Take a break. We want more damage, less duration. Blade trap damage. Why not? To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub for in that sleep of Gander Vista. I know that isn't how the passage goes. What dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Done. Boom. I gotta love a successful first video back. 45 minutes or so. Thank you so much for being here and coming back to my content. I have visions of doing this full-time or regularly again. I hope it sticks, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, and I haven't said this for a while, as always, be kind, be strong, and be awesome. And I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed playing it, because I really did. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon.